Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in today. I'm your host, Mark. It's good to be here. Welcome to Friendship Shaving. The soap I've got today is an Ariana and Evans soap, Barbiere Sofisticato, and you can see from the picture on the lid of the soap that there is a representation of a red leather and chrome barber's chair, and I'm going to use that as my inspiration for the razor and the brush today. So I've got my nice shiny 1930s fat handled Gillette Tech, and the razor blade I've got in there is a Gillette 7 o'clock SharpEdge, the yellow packet. JR got in touch with me last week to say that these were his favourite blade, so I picked one out. It'll be its third use today. The brush I'm going to be using is my favourite Friendship Shaving brush. I've just had it soaking in a drop of water. It is the Silver Tip Macy. You can't see in this light, but the base is a lovely red colour and the ferrule is the lovely cream, a classic colour, red and cream. And I seem to have it in my mind that some of those old barber's chair had cream piping around the edges. So there we are, that's the brush that I'm going to be using today. Now, while I load my brush up, let me tell you that today's soap was a gift to the channel from David Talentire. It was going unloved in his den, and he asked if I would like to use it. Of course, I bit his hand off, but David has also been kind enough to include another soap which he wanted me to pay forward to you guys. So there will be a giveaway in today's video, and I'll come on to that a little bit later. Now this soap is a very complex scent indeed. It is Ariana and Evans's version of a barbershop scented soap. Now, when I first started getting into this hobby, I didn't really know what a barbershop scented soap was. It took me a while to find out, I must admit, but it seems to be an imagining of the scents that you would find in an old-time barbershop from perhaps the 1950s. The holy trinity of scents seem to be bergamot for a bit of citrus, lavender and vanilla for the sweetness. And there are other ingredients as well that various soap makers add, and that's why a lot of the barbershop scented soaps do smell quite different. Now this one from Ariana and Evans has gone way beyond that. It is a really sophisticated soap. So let me tell you some of the ingredients as I'm putting this on my face. It has got pink pepper and bergamot, and certainly they are the first things that I smell. A little spiciness from the pepper with the citrusy bergamot. It has lavender and violet leaf, and there is some floral to this soap, and that really comes out as well. There is tonka bean and vanilla. There's the sweetness right there. Amber, cedarwood and sandalwood, and some musk and leather. So there is everything in this soap. There's a floral, there's a little bit of citrus, there's some wood. And it is a very strongly scented soap. And I think that for that reason, it burns my skin slightly. So I'm only going to be doing a 2-pass shave today. And I would recommend, if you are sensitive to fragrance oils, this includes both fragrance oils and essential oils. But if you are sensitive to them, or you have sensitive skin, perhaps it might be worth getting a sample of this soap before you buy it. It is their tallow, goat's milk and lanolin base. It is a lovely soap. It can take a lot of water, but I'm going to leave my lather a little bit thin now today. I didn't load my brush very much. And I'm going to start on the first pass and perhaps chat a little bit more in between passes. Now I've got my fat handle tech. What I did the other day was I just loosened the handle very slightly, and it was a nice razor beforehand, but it just made it a little bit different, a little bit more effective. You know, my grandfather was a barber when I was a boy. I'm going back now to the early to mid 60s and actually on to about 1970. And some of the things that I remember about being in my granddad's shop are the bottles of hair tonic. Lots of men back then seemed to have the very same hairstyle, short back and sides but long on the top and waxed or oiled back. So perhaps there would be the scent of tonic, the sweetness of a wax. Ooh, just loosened that a bit too much, obviously. The head started to spin round. There would be some the smell of shaving soap and aftershave. And as a boy, my granddad always used to give me a little splash of aftershave. Now, one of the things that I really remember quite strongly, well, two things actually. The scent of the talc on the back of your neck, but also the scent of that red leather chair. I used to have to clamber up into it. Of course, when I was very small, I had to sit on a plank across the handles of the chair with my feet on the seat of the chair. And the smell that I really remember is of the leather from the chair. So those are some of the scents that Ariana and Evans, Peter Chikalis and Ariana and Evans have tried to put into this soap. I think it's very successful. One of the things that I kind of get from the soap initially is almost the smell of sweet cherries. Not quite, but that's what it reminds me of. The post-shave feel of this soap is really very nice indeed. My skin feels beautiful. I found that if you were a gentleman that didn't want to wear aftershave, this is strong enough for you to wear for the day. For myself, as an evening shaver, I tested it on my wrist in the week, and after my shave, for about 20 minutes, the scent remained as strong as it was when I was lathering my face. Really strong, nice and strong scent. After that 20 minutes, for about 10 minutes, it dropped off slightly and it settled into a much more rounded scent, a really nice scent. I want to say that some of the harshness went out of the scent, but that's not quite the right word, but it really turned into a nice scent. And it stayed that way, quite nice and strong, could smell it very easily. It stayed that way for about 4 hours until I went to bed, and then the next morning I woke up and the scent was gone. But a very, very nice scent indeed once it settles in. Now, there we are. I'm just going to crack on with this because now it's starting to burn me a little bit. I'd stress it's not bad. It's not like Tops, which I really reacted against and it blistered my face. This is just a mildly burning sensation. But it's enough that I'm not going to do a third pass with it. So we're going to have a quicker shave this week in terms of the actual shaving. Now this Gillette SharpEdge is a nice blade. It starts off about the same sharpness as the Gillette Black, the Gillette Super Platinum. But on the second shave, it increases its sharpness to be much sharper than the Super Platinums, and it retains that sharpness very well indeed. I always find with this blade, no matter which razor that I use, certainly for the first and second shave, I always nick myself. But after that, I tend to be alright. It is another smooth blade from a Gillette range. These 7 o'clocks really are very good indeed. It's not quite as smooth for me as the Gillette Blacks. It just, I feel it sacrifices a tiny bit of smoothness for that extra sharpness. But it is a very comfortable blade indeed. And there we are, that will do for me now. I'm just going to rinse my face really well. Now see, I could have used this in private and then not used it on a shave video, but I thought, well, you know, how can I use it and sort of talk about the fragrance and the fact that it burns me a little. So I've taken one for the team today, just slightly. Now, there we are. I've got a few things to talk about once I've got a shave out of the way, so please hang around after the giveaway. Now I'm just going to use, because this is such a nicely scented soap and a strong scented soap, I'm just going to use some Nivea. And I've found that the Nivea doesn't get in the way of the scent at all. I'm going to use the cooling. I find that helps with the burning sensation a little bit. There we are. Now, I just like to show you this soap that David has put forward to be given away on the channel. It is a Wickham soap and it is about half a tub. You can see it there. It's in very nice order, it's been looked after, it's nice and clean. It is half a tub of the Wickham's 1912 Irish Fern. Now, I'm going to add to that. So I'm going to put in more or less a full tub of another Wickham soap, and this one is the 1912 Russian Leather. Now I have a face soap that matches this, so I'm going to put the face soap, it's wrapped, I'm going to put it in that tub and I'm going to put the two tubs together and put them in the post. So if you have a hankering to try a little bit of Wickham's 1912 and you might like the Russian Leather or the Irish Fern, they're both very nice scents, I must say. The Russian Leather, I've just got others that I prefer and I tend to go to them first. So there we are, a couple of soaps to give away. If you are interested, please just write 1912 in the comment. Any other comments, if you make them separately, that would be very much appreciated indeed. I'll announce the winner in the next shaving video, so in a week's time I'll let you know who has won. And while I just clean my brush, I'd like to talk a little bit about a gentleman that has been very kind to me, another YouTuber, Graham, aka Flash Boredom. Now, if you watch Flash's videos, I'm sure you will have been entertained. He is a very nice fellow and he's got an excellent sense of humour. You might remember that Graham lent me all of his slant bar razors so that I could do a whole series on friendship shaving about slant bar razors. I mean, that's just the kind of nice guy he is. I've had a good bit of contact with Graham over the last few years, and unfortunately he's stopping making videos. He has a few health issues along with his mother, and he needs to look after both himself and his mum, so life takes priority over YouTube videos. But I'm sure if you watch Graham, or you have watched Graham's channel, you'll join me in really wishing him well, and just to say thank you, Flash Boredom. You've been one of the best, and you know, it's been great to be a friend of yours and to watch your channel, and hopefully when things improve we'll see you again. That is my shave for this evening. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love you to, and I will see you with the winner's name next week. All the best now. Bye bye.